Ardani.
Right.
Okay.
Let me share my screen now.
Okay.
Can you hear me clearly? Am I
Yeah.
audible now?
Yes. Clear.
Great, great.
This the first introduced by yourself.
Right, right. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for the time. I'm Tika Kusumadewardani. You can call me Tika. I'm working in Ritsumeikan University and working in some project of research related with suburban infrastructure and focus on the commuter behavior. And today I would like to discuss about an analysis of locational distribution. Wait, I will make a minimize. There was a lot of screen. Right. So today I would like to discuss about an analysis of locational distribution between the commuter selected open space and public transport point. And I took a case study in Bekasi and Depok City for comparative study. And I will start with the introduction, jump to research method, discussion, and conclusion and recommendation. So my introduction is talking about since the emergence of COVID-19 in Indonesia in 2020, access to the public space such as a mall and museum has been limited. An alternative place to spend the leisure time in urban areas such as a city park, garden, and square, or it's called alun-alun. So the new paradigm is the roles of outdoor open space during the pandemic, and also the proximity between open space and public stopping point can encourage commuters to the benefit from the integrated city planning. But does the urban policy agenda recognize the possibility of combining the concept of hybrid space with its proximity to public transport in suburban area? So in my research, I will talking about the open space, commuting, and leisure behavior in suburban. So in the theoretical foundation, I will start with the public service facilities are generally used to meet workers' daily requirement with government investments such as open space. And the quantity and the quality can be served to the public are influenced by the spatial structure of facilities and population distribution. And the purpose of the public service is to provide the service to maximize public benefit. But however, how can this benefit be obtained in the pandemic area, which is completely limited? So before I'm coming as a researcher, I'm working as architect. So this research can be like a planner or try to observe a relationship between the pandemic and open space in the early stage of adaptation. So in my hypothesis is the conditional probability is pandemic affect the adaptation in the use of open space. And in the city with the stay-at-home order, some scholars have observed more use of green space, especially in the teeny neighborhood park. And also in many cities, the pandemic is prompting the city leaders to implement solutions in the neighborhood that do not have access to the parks. And also there was a theory talking about support the sustainability by the forming a balanced intermodal system. And also the researcher in 2004, it's talking about how to summarize four type of accessibility. And one of them is talking about the proximity measures. And also from an urban design perspective, because I'm architect, so the transportation facilities are expected to go beyond functional element to promote the efficient mobility. And also the PTP itself, it's supposed to be part of the regeneration process of urban space by considering problems such as a lack of accessibility. So in this research, I will talking about the open space, which is consists of not only green space, but also gray space. And the gap and the aims is start from the theory, talking about the positive interaction among transport space and human impact on the transport and public space design intervention to promote a behavioral change for a healthier lifestyle, such as active travel and reducing car use or private vehicle. And some previous studies also found that the physical activity in the leisure time domain was associated with a lower stress occurrence for female and male workers. So this study depart from the hypothesis that open space can be an alternative destination during a pandemic, and the proximity of the public transport point need to be become a consideration. So the novelty of this research included its recommendation for architect and urban planners in determining the locational point of integration or nodes between open space and also PTP itself. So this is my research location. I will be start from Depok and also Bekasi. Why we choose two locations for the comparative study? Because these two locations were chosen as the object of this study because based on BPS data in 2019, the highest population was found in Bekasi and followed by Depok. So that's why we need to thinking about open space that have integration with PTP. And the sampling method will be start with the collecting the data in 200, within 200 commuters living in the city of Depok and Bekasi and working in Jabodetabek area. And we focus on worker in 25 and 55 years old, and it's called non-probability sampling. And why we just choose that 25 until 55 years, because we want to focus on productive age. And also the reason for using the term of open space, which consists of more than green space, is due to the diversity of respondent choice. And this is the method of this research, talking about the open space and the lack of proximity between open space and PTP and the locus in Depok and Bekasi. And methods will be mixed method research, start with the quantitative and within the descriptive statistical, and also the qualitative with spatial analysis. And the variable used in this descriptive analysis is consists of age, selected open space, time for visiting, mode choice preference, and also the reason. And this is a statistical analysis. From the descriptive analysis, we can see that the respondent from Depok and Bekasi tend to choose public open space, not private open space. And also the mode choice preference to reach outdoor open space, it's still dominated by private vehicle, consists of cars and also motorcycle. And the trends in Depok and Bekasi is different. As many as like 89% of respondents who live in Depok city prefer to visit open space in a weekend, but in Bekasi, they usually visit the open space in daily life, like in weekday. And also the reason for visiting open space also diverse. Commuters from Depok who visit open space are motivated by the enjoying the nature, but in Bekasi city, they have perspective about the open space. It can be meeting point. So to analyze the proximity between open space and also PTP, we use like a buffer zone, and we use the measurement of 500 meter and also 1 kilometer. So the finding from the measurement of those two distance can illustrate that the phenomena that exists in suburban area. So to reach open space from a public transport point, commuters must walk a distance of at least 1 kilometer. It's so far, and people will be tired. And also from the KDA, as you can see that the dark one is the close of the PTP and open space, and the lighter one is just far away. So in Depok, there are at least 3 open space located in a village with a high population density, and it's close to the PTP, close to the moderate, because the fall range of value is 9, 7, and 5. And moreover, when the population density is moving lower in the western area, thus the choice of open space in this area is not supported by its proximity to public transport. As you can see that this is like a private open space, and this is the point of PTP itself have a distribution. And this finding indicated that the distribution of open space location in Bekasi is different because the Bekasi city is evenly distributed in all range of population density. So you can find the PTP and also open space in low, medium, or high. So from this comparison, the spatial analysis to planning model, we can give like, we need to make a consideration. So my research finding is related with the article that mentioned about the end of 2019, government of Depok City through Ministry of Environment only reach 11% of the obligation of 30%.
Sorry,
And
2 minutes left.
right, I will make it fast. So some input mention about the expectation of community, especially in the provision of a sidewalk and pedestrian way to improve the integration between open space. We also make a consideration of the input from the commuters. And the conclusion is, the government and development consider that the health concern and work psychology and mental health, and nowadays open space is not only used to fill leisure time, but can also be an alternative space to work with the so-called hybrid space in other area. And also the result indicated that the open space option in suburban area are still not evenly distributed at the village level. And need to have a proximity to public transport point, especially in Depok. And the recommendation, the first, we need to thinking about the provision of public open space in the eastern region and public transport routes that are expected to western region. And second recommendation is the network accessibility. And the third recommendation is proximity to public transport point of at least 100 meters to encourage walking behavior. And all that recommendation, it can visiting more open space, active travel, and reducing private vehicle use for commuting. I'm done speaking. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much for Mrs. Mustika, a very interesting presentation with the theme of analysis of location distribution between commuter preferred open space and public transportation point. Okay, any question for participant?
Yes, please. I'm looking forward for input, comment, or something from the participant, please.
I hope there will be a question from participant, not only for me.
Right.
Please. Okay. Mrs. Mustika,
yes, sir.
Is there any specific condition required for implementing this research in another location, maybe? So your research can be implemented to the other location.
I was thinking that the suburb. Okay. Thank you so much for the question. I will start to answer your question. I was thinking that the infrastructure in suburban is not same in the condition of urban area, right? Because if the people or commuters living in Depok, Bekasi, or another suburban area, they cannot have more open space like in Jakarta. Maybe it can be applied in another city, like maybe in Yogyakarta or Semarang, because Semarang also have like a typical city similar with the Jakarta. Maybe it can answer your question, or maybe in Makassar, or maybe Labuan Bajo also, because Labuan Bajo have like a tourism concept right over there.
Okay. So your recommendation also can be given to the
another part of Indonesia. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Is
okay,
it answer your question?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. We still have 2 minutes for
yes, please.
one short question.
Also, you can like drop out the question in the chat if you want to ask me. I will answer it after it.
You can chat in Indonesian.
Yeah. I will answer in Indonesian.
You use kernel function.
Just the analysis, right?
There are many kernel function. Fisher kernel, polynomial kernel, radial basis function kernel, and etc. What kernel function you use in this analysis?
So, okay, I will answer this question. It's very basic, sir. So I just want to see that which part of have like integration or accessibility near from PTP. PTP is public transport point, and another PTP like Angkot, and then like a station and also bus. And I didn't mention about how much measure like a same with the buffer zone. So it's just simple. I just put like a point, and then I try to see how the distribution of it. So I didn't make a coupling like a kernel density, because this is the first time I use like a kernel density.
Okay.
So it's very basic.
Yeah. Okay. We use default and SPSS.
Right. Okay. Like we need to like elaborate it with the SPSS, what I'm finding in SPSS and put in the map. It will be great.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for Mrs. Mustika. Give your applause to Mrs. Mustika. Okay. We continue to the third presenter, Mrs. Arisusanti. Hello, Mrs. Arisusanti.
Yes,
Okay,
I have answered your voice. Can
okay,
you have
okay,
more
yeah.
time?
Okay, clear. Okay, Mrs. Risusanti, the Zoom is yours to present your research. 10 minutes, yeah, for presentation and then 5 minutes for discussion. Okay, the Zoom is yours.
Just a minute. Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Arisa Santi and come from Department of Industrial Engineering, Diponegoro University. The title of my research is about literature review. The title is Bibliometric Analysis for Intelligent Transportation System. This is outline of my research. The first, of course, introduction, and then research review, material and method, result and discussion, and the last, the presentation. So this is introduction. What is intelligent transportation system, or we call intelligent transport system? Sorry. Intelligent transport system was developed as information and communication technology and positioning technology that support the social infrastructure for people and things movement. Long travel times, air pollution, traffic congestion, fuel consumption, and transportation system in disaster management are just a few of issues that ITS might help in reducing many transport problems. The origin of ITS can be traced back to 1980 with programs that use sensing information and communication and signal and information processing to achieve a greater sophistication of traffic and transport, such as partner and advanced transportation technology in California, or the program for Europe traffic with highest efficiency and unprecedented safety in Europe. The word ITS itself was originally used in the first annual World Congress of Intelligent Transportation System, which held in Paris in 1994. So the evolution of ITS from 2000 until 2011 might be divided into 4 generations. We call the first generation, second generation, third generation, and fourth generation. The first generation relies on infrastructure-based technology that is one-way. The second generation employs two-way communication technology. The third generation employs the automated operation of vehicle and automated interaction operation of system and system technology administration. And the fourth generation is applying multimodal devices, vehicle infrastructure, and information network, including personal mobile devices and solution for context mobility system operation. Since its development, there has been a wide range of ITS application, and the state of ITS deployment varies by nation. ITS has been utilized since the last 2 decades in advanced nations, but it's still new concept when it comes to emerging countries like Indonesia, Brazil, China, South Africa, etc. So, So, as a result of the growing concern about ITS as a research topic in various fields, so this purpose is the study is to integrate and provide organized summary of the existing research by identifying the foundational and seminal work as well as the old and new area of real scholarship in order to build knowledge, gain an understanding, and demonstrate the future direction the research on area of ITS. So this is several research questions. First, what are current level in this field of the study? What is the basic of literature? What are the main area of the research? And have your research interest changed over time? This is our research question. The second part of this presentation is literature review. So ITS has many definitions. When all of definitions are evaluated together, it can be determined that they all contain similar traits relative to the employment of new technology to enhance transportation system. So according to several definition of ITS has three important characteristics. The first characteristic is advanced technology to the computational transportation system, such as information and communication technology, modern computer, sensor, and control technology. Second, ITS related to innovative and creative approach to answering many transportation problems, such as traffic accident, congestion, and environmental pollution. And the last, third, ITS related to a positive effect of ITS on transportation performance, including increasing safety and improving mobility, reducing vehicle emission, and saving money, time, and also lives. So, because we are with, we'll be studying with bibliometric analysis. What is bibliometric analysis? So, bibliometric analysis is used to is a source of analysis. We use to analysis co-authorship and forward or co-occurrence analysis. What is co-authorship? Co-authorship research is important in bibliometric content and is indexed for assessing the status of research in the particular area. And the forward or co-occurrence analysis is evaluate the same literature, the frequency of co-occurrence of two keywords appear in this one topic. Yes. The topic of this presentation is about material and method. This research methodology is defined and the steps taken are described in this material and method. So the first we have to find the source of information and inclusion and exclusion criteria. This is we have to find the defined inclusion and exclusion criteria for the selection of the database from Scopus. So the study select the Scopus for the baseline to analyze the literature review. And the study time is from 1988 until 2020. Second, we have to select keyword definition and article research. To find the associated article that focusing on ITS, the database search engine began with article or abstract or keyword containing the combination of word, intelligent transportation system or intelligent transport system. So the result, as a result, we have 70,373 article report. And the last article analysis and result. In this case, the all article selected article will be examined and categorized into several groups based on their feature and content. Then the descriptive analysis to illustrate the increase of the literature, and then the bibliometric study was carried using Postpure software.
I'm sorry, 2 minutes left.
Yes, result discussion. So this is our general, the general literature plan, the distribution of institute on ITS study, the distribution of published journal on ITS study, the research country and citation analysis, and main research term. So we can see this one. The article was published in 1988, and the ITS research was obtained very fast increase in the following 32 years. Until 2006, especially after 2007, more and more scholars start research in this field. The number of publications increased dramatically. And this distribution of history. The top 30 institutes was dominated by Asia, or especially dominated by Chinese institutions. There are five institutions outside Asia in top 30. This is three from America, and then the other, this is from the America, and then the other is from Canada. From this figure, we can see that the publication related to ITS from top 30 institutions were between 75 until more than 200 articles, which implies ITS is very popular research topic. Then this is sorry. Okay, then this is the distribution of published journal on ITS today. Only 8,060 from articles were published in journal, and totally we have 160 journal research institutes that published in article related to ITS. Then we have seen the top 10 article, the journal that must have article on ITS is IEEE Transaction on Intelligence and Transportation System. There is no clear correlation between the number of the publication and especially document and the number of citations. So we can see the transportation research part C, for example, was the ranked second in the term of the citation. But this is in first in the term of the article. So this is not clear correlation. The data also show that the similar journal ranking by Scopus impacted the number of the citation in the article.
I'm sorry, that time, the last minute, I think. Can you direct to the conclusion, maybe?
In 1 minute, okay? This is the analysis of the data indicated that author from China dominated the field of the research in ITS, okay? And this is from the authors. We can see the ITS study not only in China, but also in US. But we can see the ITS study conducted in the US, this is prior to China. We can see what we can convert this one because we can see the color. The more green color, this is more recent study about the ITS. So US is more recently studied than China. This is book of co-authorship. The first is Zhang and Wang. This is two co-authorship that has many research on ITS. Okay, and this we divide the topic on ITS based on several interval times. Okay, so this is from 200 until 205 until they are until sorry, maybe this one not yeah, it is right. 225 until 260 until 220. So you can see this is the top 10 of the keyword is changed from the period to the other period. Okay. Then this is for the co-occurrence of the keyword. The keyword can be grouped into eight clusters. So each cluster has different top 3 keywords. You can see the first cluster has keyword abstracting, accessibility, excellence, and etc. Now about the conclusion. So to explain the full bibliographic feature of the paper of ITS research published a small food index journal by all authors from across of the world. For this one, after the 100 the ITS increased the variation of institution, journal, and country also saw the diversity of the topic discussed, and author with the highest number of the article was Zhang, and the top 10 keyword for ITS different since 1998 until 2020. So you can see more detailed information in my chapter. Okay, thank you very much for your.
Okay, thank you very much for Professor Aris Susanti, the nice presentation. We still have 2 minutes for discussion. Any question for the participant? Okay. Tomorrow at the closing ceremony, the best presenter will be announced. One of the criteria outside of the presentation is the activeness in discussion. So I hope you can all participate actively. So you can be chosen as the best presenter. Okay. No question? Maybe one short question for me, Professor Aris. The trend of research related to intelligent transportation system continues to increase. Depend on your research, what is the specific studies is the most drastic increase?
I think the trend is increased because all countries in the world change the perception. Not only depend to solve the transportation problem, not depend on infrastructure. So the infrastructure can be wide, longer, right? Street is only like this, the wide, and also the maybe the land is cannot be adding so many from year to year. But we can change the problem to solve the problem of our transportation problem by make the transportation more smart. Okay? So why the people change the opinion and why the people change the focus of research, because they want to solve the transportation problem not by building the infrastructure, but by make the transportation more smart. Can use the people to know what is the traffic now, what is the to reduce the pollution, something like that. So because the change of the paradigm of the people, not depend on infrastructure, but depend how to use the smart transportation to solve the problem of the transportation itself.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Aris Susanti. I think the time is up. Please give your applause to Professor Aris Susanti. Yes. Okay. Okay. We call the next presenter, Mrs. Effie Widowati.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I will start share my screen.
Okay, this the Zoom is yours.
Thank you so much. Is it clear my PPT?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thanks Thanks for the times were given to me to conduct these presentations. Wait, maybe still, wait. I cannot make it slideshow. Wait. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. I want to delete.
Click the right button.
Already? Is it full screen?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet. Not yet. Yeah.
You can click the icon in the right side in the bottom up, or you can start from the first, close and then open again.
Okay, I will close it.
Just right.
Wait. Oh, where is? Wait. I cannot see the bottom, yeah.
Okay, I think it's
It's okay,
clear.
no problem. You can
It's
like,
no problem. You can present by this condition. Okay,
Okay,
let's continue your presentation.
yeah. Wait. Why?
I can hear your presentation clearly. What's the problem?
Wait, because I haven't started yet, yeah. Maybe I will start. Is it okay to
You
present
can
now? Can you see my slide?
yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes, okay. But not full screen, right?
It's okay, no
Yeah,
problem.
yes.
Go
No
on, go
problem.
on.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. I will present about our elementary school ready for disaster preparedness and safety. This is my research and my promoter and co-promoter. I come from Public Health Universitas Negeri Semarang and PhD candidate in Faculty of Medicine, Public Health and Nursing Universitas Gadjah Mada. And then I will present about the background, research purpose, because I have only limited time, so I will deliver shortly, and then methods and result. The background is Indonesia is an archipelago country that is a prone disaster prone or disaster prone area. I mean, many schools in Indonesia located in high risk area, and then safety education in Indonesia is limited to disaster education with risk paradigm. And then the practice is separated from child-friendly school with protect children from violence. In addition, many contents of safety education have not been provided in a school because of many limitations. Therefore, the development of disaster preparedness and safety school or SSP in Indonesia S3B or Sekolah Selamat Siaga Bencana, it is a model with multi-hazard approach is viewed as a strategic move, especially during the current COVID-19 pandemic. The research purpose and method. The purpose is to determine the indicator that can reflect SSP measurement tools. The method, this was a descriptive study with three-stage multi-methods approach, starting from literature review to formulate the construct and indicators. Subsequently, we use qualitative and quantitative methods combined with sequential exploratory method. The sampling technique used in this study was purposive sampling, include 4 keys expertise, namely disaster education, and then safety education, and child protection, and elementary education. The participants were 9 experts, including the social works from international and local level organization and institution. This is the table. There is a 3 level, international, we involve from UNICEF, WHO, and ILO, and then UNICEF, we choose their expertise about child protection from violence, and then WHO, child health in emergency, ILO about the safety education and cultures, and then in the province level, we decide for 3 agency. The first is disaster management agencies from governments about their expertise about disaster management, including disaster mitigation and education, and then child protection agency about child protection, Red Cross about the disaster management, and the district or city level, we choose also the first disaster management, and then the third Department of Education, especially for elementary school education. And the third is elementary school, which already implement about SSB or Sekolah Siaga Bencana. And then the result of our instrument or our tools. Wait. Because I see another people what is move the point, so I cannot check. Can you help me to click? Yeah, okay. The measurement tools consist of 7 constructs, and then with 29 indicators and active question. Active question, it's mean that's active indicator that reflects SSB, namely school commitment, formal education, curriculum, information exposures, school infrastructures and facilities, preparedness, monitoring system, empowerment of institutional rules, and capacity of school communities. The results show that the instrument content validity are measured by content validity ratio and content validity index. Both of them indicate high content validity. Content validity in this study was measured using CFR to measure the agreement between experts on certain items. There were 56 out of 80 items, or 70% that obtained CFR score 1, and 24 items that obtained CFR score of 0.8. CFR result that all the item, or 100%, were considered important point and had high content validation. This study also measured content validity to determine whether every item in the skill was already appropriate or relevant to construct through CFI. All CFI score in this study were above from 0.78 and therefore had a good validity. There were 71 items that obtained score 1 and 9 items obtained score 0.9. This is the conclusions. Maybe it's very small, yeah, because I cannot make it full, yeah. The conclusions: disaster preparedness and safety school model, and that I said before that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have a construct, school commitment, and then formal education, information exposure, school infrastructure, preparedness, monitoring system, and empowerment. And then they have 80 indicators and 29 parameters, such as in school commitment. There were policy, planning, budgeting, reporting, and so on. I think that's all for my presentation, and thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for Mrs. Evi Widowati.
Yes.
Okay, we still have 5 minutes for discussion. Any question for participant? Please.
Okay, maybe I have one question for Ms.
Okay.
Widowati. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Widowati, so what is the future study based on your research? I mean, so we have the result now. So what do you want to do based on the research? What do you want to do the next? So this is only you said this is only the beginning. So what the next step you want to do based on the early research? This early research.
Okay, thank you so much for the question for Ms. Aris Susanti. This is you're right. This is the start or the begin of this research. We want to know how the indicators to construct or to build some integrative education system in Indonesia, which consists or which can protect children from multi-hazards, such as first, they must protect it from the disasters, and the second must protect it by violence against children, and the third, they have protected from accidents. So we make some integrated model to implement in school in Indonesia, And then after we have the model, we have to assess the school. Are they meet the what standards? If they meet the standards, so I think it's good one. But no, if they have not already meet the requirement, so it means we can give recommendation for the education agency or the school to improve their quality of the education to meet all the requirement to increase their such as resilience in their school to forward all the multi-hazard threat. I think that's my answers.
So the conclusion is you want to implement what you result of your research in the actual school. The real school. Okay, so you and you can assess the result. This is different or not with your previously design. Something like
yes, and we what's at the software also, so can make it very easy. We make some applications Android based. Yeah, so the school in all the Indonesia, especially in elementary school, they can make a self-assessment to see how well their school to meet all the requirements. So it will help the school in Indonesia to to meet all the requirements, because we use several standards from international and national making that models. I think that's all. Thank you for the question, Mrs. Aris.
Okay, it's enough. This answer, Aris Susanti. Okay. Still 1 minute, I think. Short question from other participant.
Can I?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much for your presentation. It's very interesting. Maybe is it possible if we have a collaboration research? I mean, I'm from architect, so you can put like a locational distribution of school, and after that we can know this is a suburban or is it urban area. So you can know that this is an urgency, have a hazard or it's not have a hazard. So it's not question, maybe input for you. Maybe you can elaborate it of it.
Yeah,
maybe we can make
so
a collaboration.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm very pleasure doing for collaboration with yours, and then hope we can improve the research better. Thank you so much.
Because we need to know that the spatial like analysis, which one that we need to consider this school, this is like a near a rural area or urban area, or this is an urban area.
Correctly, yes,
Thank
correctly.
You.
Yes, you're welcome.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, you can exchange WhatsApp number after this.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Session.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay, I think time is up for Mrs. Effie Widowati. Please give your applause to Mrs. Effie. Okay, thank you. Okay, I call the next presenter, Mrs. Linda Nuryanti.
Yes, I am, sir. Is it my sounds clear?
Yes.
I will start the screen presentation.
Okay, this Zoom is yours. Your time is 10 minutes for presentation and 5 minutes for discussion.
Okay, thank you, sir. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for the time. Let me introduce myself. I'm Linda Nuryanti. I'm student Magister of Information System in Universitas Diponegoro. Today, I'd like to present my paper, Human Resource Planning using K-means clustering and tabu search algorithm for workload balancing. This is table of content in my presentation: introduction, method, implementation, result and discussion, and conclusion. So first, we will begin with introduction. Organization or company must plan an activity to achieve the goal. A common problem occurs is employee workload. Unbalanced workload can cause dissatisfaction because employees feel unfairly treated. Unsuitable job characteristics also have an impact on increasing stress, low performance efficiency, and decreasing the quality of employee work. A special problem is employee workload balancing. The determining factor that underlie workload balancing are distribution process and matching process. It can increase employee job satisfaction in relation to job results. Focus study is optimization process with key-mean clustering for determine level of employee experience and tabu search algorithm for matching process. The objective is human resource planning to optimize the planning and distribution of the employees' workload to improve organizational performance. Next method, the method of in these studies are key-means clustering and tabu search. Key-means clustering is used to determine the level employee experience based on lack of working education and position. The result of this grouping is the determination of the experience of each employee. And tabu search algorithm is used to find match between employees' work detail and work experience. The matching process aims to make the work distribution in accordance with the characteristic of each employee and right on target. The next slide is implementation. The first step is determination of the number of clusters using the silhouette method. In this section, we can see the table of the average silhouette result. The result of calculation is done by calculating the silhouette method from n cluster 2 until n cluster 7. And then we can make a chart based on this result. The results show the base case cluster, I think 2 and 3. The next step, we simulate with Python software to compare the results K cluster 2 and 3. At n cluster 3, the thickness of the silhouette plot is very unequal. Cluster label 1 is very large and cluster label 0 is very small. There is a significant. At n cluster 2, the thickness of the silhouette plot is still show a considerable difference, but better than n cluster 3. The decision is the most probable thickness of the silhouette plot among the other results is n cluster 2. So n cluster 2 is the best K cluster, and the next step is clustering data become to cluster. And the second step is determination of employee experience with k-means clustering. The table show evaluating clustering model results. It calculates mean and deviation standard in each cluster. The value of the standard deviation is lower than mean. It shows the data is well distributed and the data points are close to the mean. Next, after the result of the evaluation of the data in each cluster are declared good, then the cluster process is carried out using Python software. And this is the result of the clustering, and the visualization of cluster data is also shown as a data point group. Next, the third step is setting the constraint on the tabu search. Its first constraint is suitable with job requirement, employee experience with difficulty level of job, educational background with educational requirement, then position with position requirement. And the second constraint is calculating process and workload accumulation and adding up all time that has been obtained based on the results of the matching process. And the third constraint is based on the presidential decree number 68 of 1995 concerning working day in ministry. Next, set the minimum number of employee working hour, and then set the minimum number of employee working hour. The fourth step is matching and distribution process. The optimization process is carried out using 50H employee data, 261 job data, and 57,720 working hour. It processed using tabu search algorithm with matching number employee who get a job is according to the specification is 42 employee, and the not according to the specification is 1 employee. The percentage is 74.14%. And the number of employee who get a job and not according to the specification is 15 and with 25.86%. Next, let us continue the next slide in the result and discussion. The comparison of actual condition and optimization result. In the actual condition, all jobs are distributed to all employees, and the optimization only 109 jobs were given because only those jobs match the constraint. In the actual condition, all working hours are distributed, and in the optimization only 54,750 hours are distributed.
Sorry, 2 minutes left.
Okay, sir. This is the comparison condition. Evaluation employee experience for the decision-making process. The distribution of work in accordance with the characteristic and right on target. Jobs are not distributed to employee and same job are assigned. In the actual or manual process, job will be divided evenly among employees, so all employees get job. And the result of model and evaluation on training set are cluster instance 78% on cluster 0 and 22% on cluster 1. The results of the matching optimization show the less optimal validation because many job requirements do not match the characteristic of existing employee, and the data used don't match the constraint. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you very much for Miss Linda Nurianti. She's my student in Magister of Information System. Okay. Okay, any question for the presenter? We still have 4 minutes for discussion. No question?
So
Okay,
Yes.
Prof.
Yes, Miss.
Aris.
yeah, maybe just a simple question. How many jobs you can use in your? I think you can any maximal job, maybe only or not limited job you can use in your simulation.
In my simulation, thank you for your question. I will answer, Ms. Aris. In this study, I use 261 job data, but we can use unlimited data in here. But in study, I use 261 job data. Just 260.
The typical process, job shop or the mass production. I mean, every job is job shop. Every time we get the demand from the consumer, maybe it's a different process. If the mass production, the process is still not changed every we get the demand from the customer.
I'm sorry, I can't.
So this is the process job shop or for mass production. The process is the job shop. You know job shop?
Oh, for job shop?
Or for the mass production process?
In the study, it's not a job shop. I think in this study I comparison with manual process is using in now, and then I use this method for optimize the process to has a result to the best result better than manual process.
But the job is never changed for the, I mean, one consumer to the other consumer, the job is not different. The job is always something like that, not different between one consumer to the other consumer.
I'm sorry, I can hear clearly. The
Yes.
Not so
job
clear.
is
The job is permanently is not different between one consumer to the other consumer.
this in this case this job not this is a matching process in this job with matching with characteristic of these employees, and we gonna match one job for one employee.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is this enough,
Okay.
Miss?
Yes, yes. Thank you very much.
Yes,
Thank
thank you
you.
very much for Mrs. Susanti and Ms. Linda. I think the time is up. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Please give your applause to Miss Linda Nuryanti
Mm,
on
thank
the
you.
nice presentation. Okay. We continue to the last presenter, Muhammad Imam Amarullah.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Yeah.
It's already show up?
Yeah.
Okay, let's start. Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Imam Amarullah, Master Student of Mechanical Engineering Department, Diponegoro University, Indonesia. Today, I'll present our research paper with the title of Two-Dimension Finite Element Deformation Investigation on COCRMO bearing of total hip implant under normal working condition. Various development of medical devices have been carried out in developing countries, including in Indonesia. Surgeon doctor still use metallic combination for bearing option in total hip arthroplasty surgery to perform hip joint replacement surgery for the reason of affordable price compared to other bearing. Availability of production equipment, raw material are easy to access, meet national market, and also for mechanical properties, its bearing is not brittle compared to ceramic material. The phenomena of contact-bearing surface of femoral head and acedular cup is vital because of providing an exploration of implant durability for user to acid failure can be avoided because of it hazardous for patients with hip joint implants. When two bearing surface contact with each other to accommodate patient activities, contact surface occurs, contact pressure has become a strategic study in evaluating contact mechanics on bearing of total hip bearing arthroplasty because it's correlated with linear and volumetric wear proportionally. Unfortunately, further investigation of implant bearing contact pressure has not received particular attention from research conducted of hip joint implant bearing to date. Research flow is described in the slide. Start from data collecting and literature study. Second, geometry modeling. Continue with finite element discretization. Then we input boundary condition. Next, running computational simulation, follow with convergence and validation, and we analyze the data, the presented data. In order to ease numerical simulation, computational study only examine two main components for contact model as representative. There are femoral head and acedular cup with two-dimension wall-in-socket model. We are not considering micro-separation during contact analysis, while this condition is under steady state two-dimension finite element model of COCRMO on COCRMO bearing. Acedular cup is said to be fixed and without lubricant during for boundary condition and simulation. Also, this recent study provides surface roughness represented by coefficient of friction. normal walking activity as loading input widely adopted to evaluate total hip implant because it having a good arrangement with physiological human hip joint in normal walking activity. Mimic this activity will be excellent result of performed research because walking is the most common human life activity. For loading condition, we simplified normal walking cycle into 32 pace, but for recent investigation, we only complete 5 select pace to represent normal walking activity for conduct computational simulation, where the selected pieces are first 7, 16, 30, and 32 piece. More detail regarding loading input is described in the slide. For the result, contact tracer acting during normal walking activity on COCRMO bearing of total hip arthroplasty has been achieved from computational simulation using finite element approach. We focus on examine magnitude and contour of contact tracer on hip joint bearing that will be discussed. The selected piece used as loading input represent normal walking condition, which are divided into 32 pieces with the detail of first piece is a initial piece with the highest loading in 7 piece, mid cycle is in 16 piece, and the lowest is 30 piece, and the last 32 piece. Next, for the result, contour from contact tracer distribution is wider since higher contact tracer magnitude on bearing of total hip arthroplasty under normal working condition. The wider distribution of contact tracer is in 7 piece and the narrowest is in 30 piece. The explanation because 7 piece provide highest loading and 30 piece provides lowest loading under normal working condition. Contact tracer is also vital in accommodate what's the failure prediction failure hip joint, especially for COCRMO on COCRMO bearing. For the conclusion in our study, first, gait cycle change according to loading pace under normal working condition. Second, contact tracer magnitude become higher since higher given load with the highest in 7 pace and the lowest is in 30 pace. And the last, contact pressure distribution also has a linear relationship to contact pressure magnitude, which can be proven by widest and narrowest deformation during a course in the same pace as the pace with the highest and lowest deformation. Is all of our presentation. I'm Muhammad Imam Amarullah and thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for Muhammad Imam Amarullah. The nice presentation about contact pressure on bearing of total hip arthroplasty, the normal walking condition. I think it's from mechanical engineering, yeah?
Yes, yeah, from mechanical engineering perspective. Okay,
we still have about 5 minutes or 6 minutes to discussion. Any question or from participant?
Okay, all of the presentation and all of the participant, I'm very welcome for any discussion and question.
Question? Maybe from me, Ms. Muhammad.
Yes,
sorry, I don't really understand about mechanical engineering, but
it's no problem.
What's the urgency of doing this research? So,
sorry, I don't hear you clearly. Can you repeat it, sir?
Okay. What's the urgency of doing this research? Why did you
urgency? Okay, thank you for your question, Mr. Budi Warsito. Let me answer your question. So, for the bearing in implant, especially for production in Indonesia, as the domestic for fully fully requested in any medical perspective. There are we can see many failure and also leading to second surgery for all of the patient, especially in Indonesia. In bearing option for Indonesia is have two major components. They are for COCRMO on COCRMO in the recent study, and also using component polyethylene for the second option. However, for the first option, COCRMO on COCRMO is not fully understood for how contact pressure will be leading to significant into failure analysis. So in the study, as a initial result, as an initial study, we conduct contact pressure study on CRCRMO on CRCRMO bearing under normal working condition that are represent the most activity in human daily life, especially for Indonesian patient. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Mr.
Can I
Muhammad
ask
Imam.
question?
Yeah. Okay, please, Miss
Okay.
Mustika.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation. It's very interesting, but I don't know anything about that. But my question is,
Okay, no problems.
okay, my question is only simple things. So the respondent or the people that will be use your prototype or your result, it's only for Indonesian people or specifically or people, Asian people, because they have like a difference about the body gesture and everything when walk and so on. So can you answer my question?
Okay, I got it very perfect.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mrs. Mystika Wardani, for your question.
Right.
Let me answer your question. So, for medical implant, especially for total hip arthroplasty production, is widely production internationally. But for in Indonesia, especially, it's very not meet a good criteria because of very low standard production in domestic. So initial production in higher quality of implant, especially for total hip arthroplasty in Indonesia, is very need to be started. In laboratory of tribology and surface, Diponegoro University Indonesia collaborate with hospital. I'm not forget what this hospital that is in Semarang, RS Andi, and also what I'm in the second hospital, I forgot. They are initially collaborate to production with production for domestic. There are medical implant, but for production is from local material and also from initiated result, initiated study, and then collaborate with another university and institution, local institution and also international institution to produce local medical device, but meet international criteria. This as an initial study is maybe it's very simplified, but it will be very inquire and also vital to enhance and also start what we don't have to do as a drawback for medical implant, especially total hip arthroplasty in Indonesia. Thank you, sir.
So the implant it can use for the people, for example, for people in Japan, because in Japan people also a lot to do walking, but in Indonesia they didn't walking a lot.
Yeah.
That's why my question, I mean, like your future research need to talking about what the people that can be use your prototype or your model of the implant, right? You need to thinking about it because the people have a different behaviors to walking, to running and something. So maybe it's input for me.
Okay, thank you, Mrs.
you.
Mastika, for your input, suggestion, and also question.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for Mr. Muhammad Imam and Mustika. I think the time is up for you. Okay, please give your applause to Mr. Muhammad Imam Amarullah for the nice presentation. Yeah, and he was the last presenter in this afternoon. So the session is, and I think, but we need some picture, I think, yeah. For the committee, the room or student.
I'm sorry, sir. Can I ask you something?
Okay.
So my schedule presentation is today at 4:15, but saya belum dipanggil, sir.
What's your name?
Salsabila Sadikin.
Salsabila Sadikin is not in
Article
this
author.
room. Who is
This
the
room 10.
What's the title of your
My ID is
ID?
7040.
Oh, 70?
17 and 40.
17 and 40 is not here.
But in schedule is today on this room at 4:15.
Okay, I want to share this.
Yang untuk atas nama siapa tuh, Pak?
Jazimatul Husna.
Salsabila Sadikin.
Ya.
Maybe another room, 17, yeah, 17. To share. Okay, you can see my share screen. Mrs. Salsabila. Hello, Mrs. Salsabila. Hello, can you hear my voice?
Ya untuk Salsabila itu enggak ada yang dari daftar yang season 2.
Yes. Okay, maybe you can check to committee after this session, yeah. Miss Salsabila.
She's leaving.
She's leaving. Okay. 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 We need a picture, please. Halo, Mas, bisa difoto bersama?
Iya.
Oke. Di apa-apa? 2, 3.
Aktifin room 10.
Okay.
Ya, Pak. Tunggu bentar, Pak. Biar screen full.
Oke, 2, 3.
Oke. Saya hitung ya sampai 3. 1, 2, 3. Once again. 1, 2, 3. Untuk Mas C, ICENIS, iya.
Yes, ICENIS, ya.
Iya. 1, 2, 3. Oke.
Enough?
Okay, once again.
Once again.
Okay.
Again we see.
Oke. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think this session is end. Thank you for your kind attention during this session. I hope we can get benefit and wider knowledge from every research that presenters had shared today. And maybe we can see again next year, and then ICENIS 2022, I think. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Please give applause for all of us. Yeah. For the
Okay.
session. Okay. Thank you very much, and see you tomorrow in the second day of the seminar. Okay. Thank you.
Oke.
Okay, thank you
Terima
so
kasih, Pak.
much, Warsito.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.